or partially free from it. I want to find out if it's possible to be totally ended. That's not an escape, that's putting my teeth into it.
Yes. But you have to believe it's possible in order to put your teeth into it.
I'm going to investigate. I said, for me, I know one can live without violence. But that may be a freak, that may be a biological freak and so on. But to discuss together, four of us, and see if we could be free of violence completely means not escaping, not suppressing, not transcending it. And see what is violence. Violence is part of imitation, conformity, right? Part is physical, that are not conformity. So psychologically there's this constant comparing. That's part of hurt, part of violence. So can I live without comparison? When from childhood I've been trained to compare myself with somebody. I'm talking comparison, not good cloth and bad cloth.
Right. Talking about comparing myself.
Myself. With you who are bright, who are clever, who have got publicity, who got... When you say a word, the whole world listens, and I can shout, nobody cares. So I want to be like you. So I'm comparing constantly with myself with something I think is greater.
So this is where becoming comes from, this comparison.
That's just it. So can I live without comparison?
And doesn't that leave me in the insufficient state?
No. To live without comparison?
Yes.
No.
Well, here I start off insufficient.
You understand, sir? Am I dull because I compare myself with you?
Yes.
Or bright?
Yes, you're dull because you compare yourself.
If by comparing myself with you, who are bright, who are clever, I become dull. I think I'm dull.
Yes.
But if I don't compare,
then it
I am what I am.
Well, you may not compare, but I may compare. I may say, you're dull.
All right. I say, all right. You say you're dull. I say, am I? I want to know what does it mean. Does it mean he's comparing himself with me, who is, you follow?
See,
the reverse of it.
It would be very frustrating, that. Yes. I mean, if one compared oneself with somebody and said, you're dull,
yes.
And then they said, what does dullness mean? Yes.
The other day, after one of the talks in England, a man came up to me and said, sir, you are a beautiful old man, but you're stuck in a rut. I said, perhaps, I don't know, we'll go into it. So I went up to my room and said, am I? Because I don't want to be stuck in a rut. I may be. So I went into it very, very carefully, step by step, and found, what does a rut mean? Sticking a groove along a particular line. Maybe. So I watch it. So observation of a fact is entirely different from the escaping or suppression of a fact.
So he says you're stuck in a rut and you observe it, you don't compare.
I don't know what. Am I in a rut? I look. I'm stuck in a rut because I speak English. I speak Italian and French. All right, that's not right. Am I psychologically, inwardly caught in a groove? Like a tram car.
Just motivated by something and not understanding it.
Yeah. No, am I? I don't know. Yes. I'm going to find out. I'm going to watch. I'm going to be terribly attentive, sensitive, alert.
Now this requires that you not react in the first place by saying, no, that's horrible, I couldn't possibly be stuck in a rut.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
You may be telling the truth.
Well,
but then
to not have that reaction, excuse me.
Sorry, go on.
To not have that reaction, you can't have that self there that says, I'm not the type of person that's stuck in ruts.
I don't know. So, is there a learning about oneself which is not, this is something else I mustn't go into it, which is not constant accumulation about myself? I don't know if I'm making myself clear.
Yes. You're saying that...
I observe myself. And I've learned from that observation something. And that something is being accumulated too all the time by watching. I think that's not learning about yourself.
Yeah. It's being concerned with what you think about yourself.
Yeah. What you think about yourself, what you have gathered about yourself.
Yeah.
It's like a river that's flowing. You have to follow it. I mean, that leads somewhere else. Let's get back to...
Well, no, maybe this is part of the question we're asking, because we start with, how does this disorder occur? And
yes,
you
let's
say
stick to that.
It occurs because I have the image of myself as someone who knows he's not stuck in a rut. I don't like to think that I'm stuck in a rut. And somebody says, yes, you are.
But you may be.
Yes. I have to be open to looking to see.
Yeah, to observe.
But then what about this approach? Somebody says I'm stuck in a rut. I look at myself and think, yes, I am stuck in a rut. And then I can respond by saying, well, what's wrong with that? Everyone's stuck in a rut.
That means you're just blind.
No, you accept the fact, but then you think, well, why should I do anything about it?
Well,
what's wrong with that as an approach?
Like a man stuck as a Hindu. He's stuck. He's then contributing to war.
Well, I may say, well, I'm stuck in a rut, but says everybody. It's the nature of humanity to be stuck in ruts.
You see, that's it. You go off, that's the nature of humanity.
Yes.
But I question that.
I would say everyone else is stuck in ruts.
If you say that's the nature of humanity, let's change it, for God's sake.
But you may believe it's unchangeable. You see, what reason have I for believing that we can change it? I may think that I'm stuck in a rut, so are you, and so is everybody else. And anyone who thinks they're not is deceiving themselves.
Is cheating themselves.
Yes.
I may cheat, so I begin to inquire, am I cheating myself? I want to be very honest about it. I don't want to cheat. I don't want to be a hypocrite.
But you may not be a hypocrite. You may think I am stuck in a rut. And you may be a pessimist. You see, the alternative to being a hypocrite is a pessimist, or one alternative.
No, I'm neither a pessimist or an optimist. I say, look, am I stuck in a rut? I watch all day.
And you perhaps conclude yes. But then you can take the pessimistic course and say, yes, I am, but say what?
Oh, yes, if you prefer that way of living, go ahead. But I don't want to live that way.
Well, the person who comes into therapy usually comes with both sides going on at the same time. He says that I have this problem which I want to be free of. I don't want to be stuck in a rut. On the other hand, when it gets down to really looking at that, he doesn't want to look at it either, because it becomes uncomfortable.
Of course.
Yeah.
So, to come back to your original question, the world is in disorder.
Yes.
Human beings are disorder. And we describe what is disorder. And is there a possibility to live free from disorder? That's a real basic question. We said as long as there is this divisive process of life, I'm a Hindu, you are an Arab, I'm a Buddhist, you are a Muslim, I'm British, you are Argentine, and so on, there must be conflict, war.